Hello and welcome to the first round of the 2009 TM Master Cup Series season. For those of you who missed the pre-race show, I'm Dan Mullen, and alongside of me is my usual cohort, Lance Anders. Hello. For those of you who tuned in late, we're going to go over how this race in particular will be run. Lance, let's go over it. Well, there's new rules for the Super Speedway races. Daytona, of course, being a Super Speedway, one of four we're running this year. This is going to be an 80-lap race. They're going to be run in halves, so there's two 40-lap segments. In between those two, there's going to be 1 hour to repair the cars. And all the cars are not on the lead lap will be out of the race, but they will keep their finishing positions as they are. Meaning, of course, the field will be frozen, and all cars off the lead lap are out. And the field is rolling off, and I'm going to go through the starting grid right now. For the first time in his career, Scott Stoyler from Pennsylvania will lead the field down to the green flag, and on his outside is the green-haired Damian Snyder in car number 11. Row number 2 is Gary Edwards brings number 8 back to the TM Master Cup Series circuit, and Alan Hodges from Wales on his outside. Row number 3 is 2007 Master Cup Series champion Tony Durbin and the Flying Frenchman Adrien Devereaux in car number 96, a surprising qualifying run from Adrien. Row number 4, Ryan Naraki in the number 32 car for National Racing, and Mike Whitmore in the number 73 car ensures that it's all CMs and all stars in the first 4 rows. Row number 5, Leon Kenniston for J.D. McDermott, a great qualifying run from his Gasnier, and then Stuart Sandoval, former GRL champion in the 77. Row number 6, we have Stan Rosenstrader from South Africa and 3-time series champion Leonard Roderick in car number 4. Row number 7, Bruno Battaglia, former NFL player, and then Arto Kakinen, the sensational Finnish driver, on his outside. Arto and Bruno are both running for Rookie of the Year. Row number 8 is Irish driver Stephanie McGlynn in the Butch Light car, and then Matt Taylor in the number 49 Leela machine, a surprising qualifying run from him. Row number 9, 3 attempts, and first start in this race for Kurt Pliskin and Power Steering Incorporated, and Todd Wodarczyk on his outside in car 37. Row number 10, Lauren Roth, last year's Cariala winner, and third in the point standings last year, Lewis Kingston from Skokie, Illinois in car number 84. Row number 11, Rachel Rainsford in car 99, and Canada's Marcus Leonard starts 22nd on the grid. In row number 12, yes, it's row 12, ignore the error at the top, that's Todd Stanton and John Parker Jr. Both these two are Rookie of the Year candidates. Expect a lot from these two drivers. Row 13 is Tyrone Stanley from South Carolina and Craig Yonser from Connecticut on his outside. Yonser is very fast in practice. Row 14, Ross Peterson in car 47, and then a return for Justin Brooks in the McAllister Motorsports SAR. Row 15 is Chris Allen and Russian driver Julian Asova in car number 1. Look out for Asova today. That car is also very quick in practice. Row 16, Woody Watts, former RROL champion, and then Danny Savin in car number 91 from New York. Row 17, it's the last two McAllister Motorsports cars of Joseph Howard, a former 3-time champ, and last year's Arla champion Chris Johans. Row 18, James West, the upset darling of last year, and the defending Master Cup champion Alexis Rainsford in car number 27. Row number 19 is Zach Duff from Canada, and the defending winner of this event, Johnny Ada in the 04. Row 20 is Johnny Ada's team owner, Scott Bates, and then Ian Cooper makes a return to the full-time circuit. He'll be driving the Lysander, car number 2. And on the final row of the grid, 2 cars that did not set a qualifying time, Palmer Styles and Dale Roswell. Both these cars were quick in the first practice, but in the second practice they tangled and could not get a qualifying run in. Many drivers came to attempt this race at Daytona, and a lot of big names did not qualify for this race. Anthony Evans in car number 10, David Krikorian, a Rookie of the Year candidate, although this could very well hurt his Rookie of the Year hopes. Pete Maverick, Ali Riggs, Kurt Walker, Dan Klezel, Colin Evans, Drew Eisenman, a lot of big names, and this did not qualify list. Joe Rodriguez, this is the first time in I believe 21 years that car number 44 has shown up to a Master Cup Series circuit track and then not qualified. That was a couple times in the mid-90s when the 44 car wasn't on the grid. No, Lance, what I'm saying is, first time the car attempted and didn't make it. Oh, okay. That makes a bit more sense. There's Matt Taylor in the number 49 car. The 2004 TM Master Cup Series champion was supposed to run the full Arla schedule, but he failed to qualify for the Daytona round and for the Pikes Peak round. And thus he entered number 49 car in this race. Actually, Leonard Roderick entered this car as a 5th car for Flash Racing, and Taylor put this car on the grid. And we've also got a lot of inexperience down towards the front of the field. I think this could be something we should watch early on. Adrian Devereaux, the 96 car, last year's ROL champion. Stan Rosenstrater is up there. Keniston, you've also got Battaglia and Kekkonen, so you do have a lot of inexperienced drivers, and this could make the first couple laps a real adventure. Also, Ian Cooper in the number 2 car, and those 2 black and yellow EFR cars right in front of him and right to his left. I think you're going to have to watch the 2 car, the 88 car, and the 04 today. El Pacecar's about to dive in, Dan. We're on board with the pace car right now. Pace car is in. Nicholas James, former Master Cup champion, drives the pace car. Scott Stoidler leads them down to the green, and here we go! Great stop by Stoidler in the 26 car. Damian Snyder was asleep on that start or something, but Alan Hodges also got a great stop, but it's, well, null and void almost, because the 11 car just isn't going. I saw the 23 car making some moves already, so there is some dicing around in the back. People going 3 wide back there, Lance. I don't mean to cut you off there, but that 23 car is making a 3 wide in the back. Stoidler trying to hold on, but he's going to try to hook up with his team owner, Alan Hodges, but here comes Edwards in the 8 car. His teammates aren't working with him. Gary Edwards doesn't look like he's got any drafting help, but it looks like he's strong enough to complete the pass anyway. There he goes. Gary Edwards on point in car number 8. Tony Durbin second. Ryan Naraki third on the inside line. And behind them is Keniston in the 3, and then Rosenstrater in the 38. Edwards is going to lead lap 1. The number Steve Marshall was killed in a couple of years ago leads the first lap Daytona, and look at this! Tony Durbin making a run on him now! Tony Durbin in the 33 car. Boy, this would be something if Durbin leads this lap, because that was the number Marshall was most known for. But like I was saying, the National Racing Cars down last year, they tried to get all of their cars to lead 1 lap, and of course 1 lap is 1 bonus point, and that could mean a position or 2 in the Master Cup Series point standings later on in the year. Durbin in car 33 trying to get around his teammate. Looks like those tactics may be playing into effect, because Ryan Araki could be in position to do it next. Just lead a lap and then get shuffled to the back and then hope to dodge all the wrecks, assuming there are any. Durbin leads lap 2. And the 2007 Master Cup Series champion, the most popular driver on the circuit right now, leads the second lap coming into the first turn. Durbin still has the edge. Not seeing Naraki peek underneath, Lance. Maybe Naraki is just going to stay behind Durbin right now. Well, Dan, further back, I see some people making a lot of vague moves right now. Oh, there we go. Ryan Naraki making the move. Well, as I say, some people back there are a little impatient, and they might just make the moves anyway. See Keniston, and there's a red and white car, third on the inside. That is Kurt Pliskin, Dan, and he is absolutely flying right now. That 16 car, Pliskin, not very quick in the practice sessions, but he appears to be going very well in the race right now. Car number 16, Kurt Pliskin for Power Steering Incorporated. Definitely one of the underdog teams in this series. We ride on board with them right now. Making some very good moves early out of the gate. It's Bruno Battaglia in the Leclerc Lights car right in front of him, and then Tony Durbin off to his right. Naraki in front of him, car 32. So it looks like these National Racing Team tactics are working out quite well. You know, some people may say, you know, that that's not the right thing to do, but I'm going to counter that. If you've got team cars, you want to help them out as much as possible. So they're just doing what they have to do to help each other out in the Master Cup Series point standings. As Battaglia goes to the lead, and Pliskin hot on his tail. And also, I see the 39 car and the 4 also working their way towards the front. That's Roth and Roderick. So Lauren Roth, he was involved in some of the controversy here last year when the 2 Ocean Motorsports cars wrecked each other. And Roth making his way to the front of the field. Stan Rosenstrater is not working with him. This Rosenstrater got stuck in the middle, and Roth is on the bottom. Pliskin staying with Battaglia as Rachel Rainsford makes a run for the lead. Rachel Rainsford's got a very good race car. So we're on board with Marcus Leonard all the way in the back here. This is what it's like to ride midfield, I guess. What do you mean, you weren't in the midfield when you were driving? No, I was always up front. Yeah, of course you were. There's Julian Asova in the 1 car. I'm surprised this 1 car hasn't made a stronger march to the front. And Mike Whitmore, who was very strong here last year, is also a little bit mired back in the field. Mike Whitmore, I'm a little surprised, isn't already at the front of the field. And I see there's two EFR cars also having some problems working their way forwards. There's Lewis Kingston and Chris Allen on the bottom. Kingston and Allen working together. They're not in the same team, but Kingston, his teammate Zelda Ashby, didn't make the race, so Kingston kind of a one-man team right now. He's got to work with everybody out there, or as many people as he can. And Chris Allen in the number 7 UESC car working with Kingston, but I don't think so anymore. Kingston tried to make a run and hoped to catch the 39 car, but that's not working. Here comes Chris Allen and Wayne Watts. Allen also trying to work that 39 car. Maybe there's something that the other teams know about that 39 car that we don't, because Roth, a lot of people seem to want to draft with him. I wouldn't, because what happened last year, Lon Roth is about the last person I'd want right behind me. Apparently the other drivers think differently. Alan Hodges in the 13 car is already cycled through, and he's coming back to the front, as well as Joseph Howard. And I see James West back there in the 69. He's running for Rookie of the Year. Stephanie McGlynn in car 52. McGlynn, the queen of crash last season. McGlynn had the more DNFs than everybody else. Failed to finish about 2/3 of the races. I don't think any of them were of her own doing, though. McGlynn really redeeming herself from last year. She was going to lead lap 7. Joseph Howard also coming into the frame right here, Dan. And I see further back, I see Nasova, Duff. I see Rosenstrader also cycling through in that 16 car of Pliskin. So I don't think we've seen the last of any of those guys. And there's Howard sweeping into the lead. He's finally cleared McGlynn, and he's going to sweep up to the outside. Lance, what do you think all this is about? We've seen what looks like a car gets into the lead, and then they just sweep to the outside lane. Got any ideas on that? I think most of these guys are just trying to see how long it takes their car to get to the front of the field, get to the lane that has the most grip on it, which is the outside lane, and hope it goes somewhere, but clearly that's not the case. James West may have a car that can hold on to the lead, though. Excuse me. Woody Watts in the 01 sweeps to the bottom of the track. But I think that most of these guys just are trying to get to the front of the field and trying to do it as quickly as possible so that when crunch time comes, they know what they've got and they know what they can do with it in the draft. I think a lot of this is just setting up for laps 68, 78. Lauren Roth in the bottom. Zach Duff behind him. I see Kurt Pliskin still in the middle. That 16 car could dive into the bottom. He's not doing so. So McGlynn very close to the wall in that 52 car. That car does not look like it's handling too well. A 39 car is even worse, and that thing is pushing up the track in 3 and 4, and that could create some huge problems, especially if someone else has such a good run that they have to go full wide without checking up and possibly causing a wreck behind them. And full wide here is what caused, I think, all the wrecks here last year, and caused some of them in the qualifying race as well. There's Pliskin in the 16 car. He appears to have the best handling car out there. I'm not gonna refute that. The 16 car looks like he is handling much better than the other cars around him. Pliskin seems to be able to throw that car around wherever he wants, and it will stick. And so it's gonna have to see what he's capable of. Tony Durbin behind him in the 33 car, and that is also traditionally a very that car usually handles very well here at Daytona. We believe the 96 car, though, is not a well-handling race car. He has been all over the track. He has slid to the back, and I think he's even hit the wall once. Adrian's not having a very good start to this race. I'm going to tell you that. Yeah, that car's all over the place. So is that 14 car. Devereaux and Kekkonen having a very hard time here at Daytona so far, but I think once they're able to adjust those cars, they might see both of them back up towards the front. Both of those drivers are very good at road courses, and speaking of drivers who are very good at this track, how about Zach Duff in the 28 car? Duff, of course, finished in the top 10 in Canada and last year, and landed a ride with Jeff Sesnick Racing for this season. Jeff Sesnick Racing is by many considered to be the #1 Volpe team. Of course, they have the defending series champion Alexis Rainsford on their squad in the number 27 car. And Rainsford is 4th in the inside line. And speaking of the Sesnick cars, I see that black and silver car of Ian Cooper and one of the 2 EFR cars. That is Scott Bates in the 88 car. Pliskin leads lap 10. Durbin going to sweep into the lead. Ian Cooper decides not to go with him. well, that's a surprise. Ian Cooper and National Racing not getting along. Yeah, this is certainly nothing we're not familiar with. Of course, Ian Cooper and National Racing, no love lost between them, because Cooper used to drive for National Racing and in fact won this race for them a couple of years ago. 3 years ago, actually. So Cooper sweeps into the lead, and Alexis Rainsford is going to hold the bottom. But Cooper, again, I think they're doing some of more of those team tactics. The outside line's got the most grip around this racetrack, Dan. I think some of these guys think that it might actually work, but that's not happened so far. But keep in mind, though, you got Scott Bates in the bottom there. That's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. In fact, I think he currently has fastest lap of the race. Volpe's first, second, third, and fourth on that lap as Alexis Rainsford was scored as the leader last time by. The Volpe car did not qualify well. I don't think any of them qualified in the first 10 rows, but they seem to be doing very well here in the race so far, because of course you got the Volpe Brigade, I think it's right to call them that, heading up the field, and you've got some of the other ones setting some pretty quick laps and hanging around in the rear of the field. Here comes Danny Sabin in the Blitzkrieg Racing number 91 car. His teammate Milano Rossini failed to qualify for the race, but Rossini was very competitive, and Danny Sabin is showing all the speed of that Rossini had. Surprising speed, I should add. And here they come around into the tri-oval. Danny Sabin sweeps up in front of Alexis Rainsford. You got 3 Volpe cars and a car that might have been a Volpe. Oh, we got 3 wide here. Oh, Craig Younser almost gets himself into a bad situation there. He was all over the track. He was almost into the second lane. That could have been bad. I don't know what he was thinking, if that was a driver problem or a car problem. I want to say, though, that it was a driver problem, and that Craig just needs to take a little bit more care where he's going. Chris Yahan sweeps into the lead. Matt Taylor in the 49 car. Coming in on the bottom, Taylor looking very strong, and Dale Roswell is in there as well. That 19 car didn't set a qualifying lap because he was having engine problems, but that 19 car, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Lennard Q9, there's only 2 Lennards in the race, and one of them is looking very strong. Oh, trouble behind him! Justin Brooks and Scott Bates got together. Tony Durbin is in it. Ian Cooper. Oh, Durbin going over. Kurt Pliskin is in it. Roderick packing in. The 8 car, Gary Edwards. I think Devereaux's in it. Todd Stanton, Woody Watts, Damian Snyder, John Parker Jr. in the 53, Rosenstrutter Bates, Mike Whitmore, Todd Odashik's got damage on him as well, and I see the 34 car, Palmer Styles, is a little scrape on the right side door of that car. Here's a replay. Well, Brooks and Bates just appeared to get together, and it looked like Brooks just swept up the track into the side of Bates. Brooks bounces off the outside wall, comes back down into Durbin, and this causes more problems. Snyder and Hodges both get into this one. That's where Arto Kekkonen gets collected. Stuart Sandoval in the 77 car also gets in it. I think Tyrone Stanley in the 23 car smacks the wall. And Roderick in the 4 car, he's not going to be too happy about this because Leonard Roderick was warning most of these drivers out there to be a bit more careful. Here's another look at it. Lance, there they go. Just old heck breaks loose here. There's Parker. Oh, Parker was the one that hit Durbin hard on the side door. There's Woody Watts spinning off into the grass, and there's poor Scott Bates. Had one of the fastest cars out here, but it doesn't look like... well, actually, I think he will continue on, but if he has too much damage, he'll be so slow that the leaders will lap him, and of course he won't make it to the second segment of the race. Which is a shame, because I think Scott Bates is by far and away one of the best restricted plate drivers of this generation. We got a lot of onboard cameras here. The first one is Damian Snyder in the number 11 car. James West to his right. And there's the big cloud of smoke. Looks like he's through. And then Justin Brooks just appears right in front of him. Oh, Kurt Pliskin in the 16 car also. There's Tony Durbin going over. That's got to be quite a sight for him. And of course, smoke billowing out of the 11 car. I think he's done. That's unfortunate. Damien looked like he had a very good car today. I think this is his best chance to win this race that he's ever had. On board, Arto Kekkonen in the 14. That's Todd Stanton right in front of him. On board with the young Finnish rookie. Seems to know what he's doing so far. He looks like he's gotten through it. But the 12 car popping up in front of the middle of the racetrack just seems to collect Arto, and there's a lot of damage. Oh, Stuart Sandoval got in there as well in the 77 car. Forgot about him. Didn't see him, actually, but, well, Stewart also in this one. On board Todd Stanton right in front of Arto Kekkonen. Mike Whitmore right then the 73. Todd was looking pretty strong early on, but then, well, nowhere to go. He gets into the 38 and the 01. Heavy damage to the 45 car of Todd Stanton. But Todd is looks like he's soldiering on, and it looks like he's going to continue on in this race. We've got the aerial camera, Dan. Alright, let's show that. Okay, Justin Brooks in the number 12 car. Looks like he just moves up into the... this is in the back straightaway, by the way. Justin Brooks moves up. He's making another lane. What's all this about? I have no idea, but Justin Brooks has a history of making some quick moves that involve massive amounts of brain fade, and this is one of them. Brooks is all over the place. He's had no business running up in there. It's not like that car was pushing up in the turns. He just moved over in the straightaway to create a fourth lane. Absolutely ridiculous driving, and this is definitely from someone who knows better than that. On board, Palmer Styles, the number 34 car. I believe Palmer got a little scrape on the door of his car. So Darshik in the 37. Also, Styles, no choice but to hook the 37 car. Trying to get through this mess. There's Alan Hodges in the 13 car. I think that's probably where the 34 got that little door scrape. And here's on the back bumper of the 16 car. I suspect we're about to lose this camera in a minute. Hello there, Damien Snyder. Indeed. Well, some cars are going to head towards the pit lane, some aren't. But either way, we'll be back in just a few minutes. I think it's time we head out for a little break.